Good morning. It's Saturday, March 16th. And yesterday, when I was getting ready to prepare my ranch and started to do the research, my wife came down for breakfast and wanted an egg, a boiled egg. Now, I don't usually eat eggs on Friday, but in any event, while I was getting her eggs, I decided I'll take 2 eggs and I'll make my eggs sunny side up. And then something miraculously happened. Both of the eggs I chose were double yolkers. How many of you have ever had sunny side up eggs that turn out to be double yolkers? Now, I always buy my eggs at meat farms, and I always buy the jumbo eggs. So finding a double yolker is not unusual in the eggs that I buy. But getting 2 eggs at the same time as double yolkers and eating them sunny side up was a wonderful experience. So I leave you with that. It made me feel great, and I hope my rant comes out as well as my breakfast. Today's rant, I'm dealing with Islamophobia and antisemitism, which are both on the rise in the U.S., partly because of the Israel-Hamas war, and partly because that's the way the world looks at us. And we all know that anti-Semitism has been around way before these wars started. And I'm sure that there has been anti-Islamic movements also. Now, research shows that there has been an increase in prejudice and hate as civil rights groups condemn unprecedented surge in the bigotries. Islamophobia and antisemitism are seeing these sharp rises because of the war that erupted on October 7th. And according to a new report, by the Council on American Islamic Relations, which is known as CARE, there have been thousands of requests for help and reports of bias since that war started. CARE has called this increase, this spike, unprecedented. And anti-Arab sentiment across the U.S. has had an over 200% increase over the previous year. And that shouldn't surprise us. When you have a war that breaks out and 1,200 Jews are killed and 30,000 Arabs have been killed, there's going to be some public sentiment that is not in the best place. And of course, all of these people that are chanting on either side are talking about free speech. So when they talk about anti-Arab and Islamophobia, they're calling it free speech. And the same thing holds true when they talk about anti-Semitism or when they create anti-Semitic speech. In any event, the Islamophobic and anti-Palestinian rhetoric that has been used to both justify violence against Palestinians in Gaza and to shut up the supporters of Palestinian human rights here in America. Now, these actions have contributed to the surge in bigotry. Right now, we're facing the largest wave of anti-Islamic rhetoric since Donald Trump called for the Muslim travel ban in December 2015 before he won his election. On the other side of the coin, so to speak, the Jewish community is facing record high levels of anti-Semitism. That's after Israel launched launched its war on Hamas after Hamas's October 7th attack. Now, what do people expect Israel to do? Take it easy? I don't think so. The Anti-Defamation League recorded an almost 400% increase in anti-Semitic incidents over the previous year, right after the Hamas attack when Israel retaliated. So if you compare that to the previous year, you could see that this was a gigantic leap, but it was a justified leap in my mind. Now the numbers have gone down a little bit since October, but not that much. So last month there were about 101 reported hate crimes, of which 69 of them targeted Jews. And that's up about 35% from the year before. So in any event, when we look at this entire situation, we must recognize that anti-Semitism is a disease that exists in this country, and it's been around for a long, long time. And so when Jonathan Greenblatt, who is the ADL's leader, pleads with people, saying that it's incumbent on all leaders, from political leaders to CEOs, to university presidents, to other high-ranking members of society, and maybe the general public, it's important to forcefully and unequivocally condemn anti-Semitism and its terrorism. And he's claiming this isn't hard because words matter. And while the war in Gaza continues, we must encourage all those in positions of power to use their platforms to condemn hate and terrorism wherever it occurred. Now, you could say all those wonderful things, but that is not going to put anti-Semitism out of the picture, nor is it going to put Islamophobia out of the picture either. Now, it's been my experience living in this world as long as I have and being a boss for many, many years, that people have to have something in their lives that make them feel better than they are. And one of the ways of doing that is to hate some group of people, to look at another group of people and put them down and find a way to dislike people. And that's a sorry situation, because there are many in this world who are not taught how to grow up and how to accept those who are different than you. And those differences relate to religion. They relate to education. It relates to the color of their skins and everything. But there are many in this world that will find something to hate about some other group of people. So those who follow Islam are in one of those groups. And we, the Jews, have been in another group for a long, long time. And when people think that there are lots of Jews in the world, they don't realize that we represent 0.2 percentage point of the population in this world. So why are the Jews a hated group? I don't know why it continues. Because when you look at the things that Jews have contributed to society, they far outnumber by percentage all the other groups in this world. So I leave you with that this morning. Anti-Semitism on the rise, Islamophobia on the rise, no end in sight. Take care. Bye.